Hello, and welcome to the Youth Sports Chowdown. I'm Red Velvet, and this is Uncle Lump.
Hello, what are you doing?
My face got stuck like
Oh.
that. Mom always said you make that face,
Yeah.
don't get stuck like that.
Don't make faces.
No. Yeah, it's been a busy
What
weekend.
cartoon was that where they did that? And there was it Rugrats? That seems like a Rugrats thing.
I don't know.
Where
There's
they,
some other.
they were told they were going to get their
I want-
faces stuck, and then they made
I
faces.
wanted to say Animaniacs, but I could be wrong.
Could be. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of them where Beetlejuice 1. They made those faces and they got stuck.
They got
like
stuck.
that.
Oh no, it was SpongeBob and Patrick.
Oh.
Yeah, they told them that if they kept making faces, they were going to get stuck, and then they do, and they get stuck all messed up and weird.
Gotcha.
And that's what it was. It was SpongeBob.
Okay.
All right.
Remember
Moving
Rocket
forward.
Power?
Yeah.
That was a good show too.
What was it? Woogity, woogity, woogity.
Woogity, woogity, woogity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Moving on. We like to hit the outdated references.
We like to
for
hit,
the children.
we dated ourselves right there. Those kids are like, I've heard of SpongeBob.
But for real children, go check out Rocket Power. I think it's on Paramount Plus if you have that one. It's a good show.
Yeah, it is a good show. It's one of my faves.
That cat dog.
Wow, that's a
Cat
blast
Dog's
from
a
the
good one.
past. Wow.
I used to be able to sing that whole intro song.
Cat dog. That's all I know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
One fine day with a wolf
Yeah.
and a bird.
Oh, well, you still know it. That's
I know
good.
most of it. Well, because we just watched it the other day. And I was like, oh,
so
hey,
it's
I
still
still kind
fresh
of know
in
this
your mind?
song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, this is the Youth Sports Chowdown where we talk sports and
And randomness.
random
cartoons.
cartoons. Oh,
It's for the kids.
it is for the kids.
We're teaching them about old school cartoons.
Well, this is for the parents. We had a podcast episode on
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple
Chuck.
Plus, other platforms.
All of the platforms.
All the platforms. South Putnam head football coach Chuck Sorrell episode dropped today.
Big
So,
wrestling fan.
Big wrestling fan.
Speaking of wrestling,
Sorry.
September 28th is Fall Fury. I do not have a graphic to put up, but
Fall Fury.
it is a lot of
Singleton
fun.
Wrestling presents Fall Fury.
we get to come out and pump the crowd up and have a lot of fun and talk a lot. So
Yes.
come have some fun with us. Bring the kids and
Have
yeah,
fun.
it's a great time.
It's family friendly. Have fun
It is
with
very
it.
family friendly. They
Yes.
put on a heck of a show.
It's a great show.
Come see the. Yeah, never mind.
Let's not talk about that. That's a sore subject.
I was
still.
going to say to come see the Diner Podcast.
Yeah,
champion,
yeah.
But I forgot I
Yeah.
was busy that weekend. My
Yeah,
bad.
Somebody paid for a vacation.
Surprised you didn't like throw things at me when I walked in. We have not been around each other since that.
No,
promo.
and I'm
So-
almost on a 24-hour fast today.
I'll be
So
honest, I forgot. I'm kind of nervous now
Yeah,
that we
way to
just
go.
brought this up live and reminded you
I've
because I
got a remote.
forgot last time
Yeah.
we talked you through a cup.
That's right. I did throw a cup
Rude.
across the room. Didn't dent it though.
Hey,
Solid
kids,
steel.
you might get to see us fight
Maybe.
right now.
Maybe.
I spent
No, this is a
$3,500.
This is a family-friendly show. We won't fight.
Oh, okay,
Yet.
fair enough.
Anyway, but we want to take this time to thank our gold sponsors.
Oh, I made a new one.
He made a new graphic, and these gold sponsors basically help pay for the Diner Podcast
Yeah.
Champions Vacation.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, gold sponsors. We have Wabash Valley Plumbing.
I thought you were going to say more.
I know, I'm sorry. U.S. Lawns of Terre Haute, they mow grass. I got to try the new.
Thank you,
I got-
U.S. Law.
I've got to pace myself. ML Productions, they make movies. Be sure to check out Shatter, or is it Drowning in Echoes?
Drowning in Echoes.
Blue Anchor Roofing and Restoration. They fix stuff. They
Like
do
that
roofing.
broken roof.
Look like that broken roof. Wabash Valley Dalton Teen Challenge, meeting you at the crossroads of addiction. I'm getting better pace. RJ's Formal Wear. Jared spelled it right, and they have sweet suits.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Rick.
Peak Performance Gym. No peak, no results. You get gains, and you look like us. I don't know if that's a good selling point, but anyway. Stitch Embroidery and Apparel. They have embroidery and other apparel.
We had a needle like that do something.
Yeah, we did.
One time.
Pappy's Barbecue. Meet, eat, repeat. Check out their wings on Wednesdays. Thank you. Yep.
So duly noted, I spaced it out just slightly too long. I was trying to give you plenty of
I
time
know.
to enunciate each
I'm
of our
more
sponsors.
worried about the
I
spacing
spent
of the
a lot
power
of money.
performers.
We need to make them all happy.
The power performers. I got
I added time there too,
All
so
right,
you
cool.
will go at a nice steady pace
okay,
today.
good, because I'm not like reading
No,
45.
it's yeah. I gave you, I believe, double the time, so
All
you
right.
should be able to read them at a normal pace.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Anyway,
All right, we're going to start off. We have Northview Volleyball, and it was a busy week, actually. Northview went undefeated this week. Coach McDonald
good job.
got his 400th win sometime this week.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Coach. and we actually got him booked for a podcast in October, which will
sweet.
probably release in November,
It's going to
December.
be the Christmas episode.
Might be.
You'll get Coach McDonald for Christmas.
Maybe. So
We have slowed down a little bit, so we should be caught up hopefully by then.
We'll get there. We had the Knights take on Linton, and the Knights won 3-0. Then the Bar Reeve Invitational, the Knights started off with Indianapolis Lutheran. Tough matchup, but they won 2-0.
Good job.
And then the Knights faced Tecumseh. The Knights win 2-0. Knights faced South Knox, 1-2-0. And then in the championship, the Knights faced Evansville
Did they
Modern
win
Day,
2-0?
and they won. So the Northview Knights volleyball team are your Bar Reeve Invitational.
Congratulations,
champs.
ladies.
Congratulations. Some key stats for the action of the
You
week.
didn't say what their score was.
2-0.
Oh, it was.
They had a
Okay.
clean sweep, buddy. Nobody
They were
won
on
any
fire.
sets. So Kiara
Shut them
Lucas,
out.
62 kills with 1 ace, 3 blocks, 45 digs, and 4 assists.
Wow.
Brady McDonald had 3 kills, 1 ace, 65 digs, and 9 assists.
Good job.
Carson Buck, 29 kills, 4 aces, 3 blocks, 19 digs, and 53 assists. She's set up, man.
Couldn't imagine why they win so much.
I know. Alexis Strala had 24 kills, 11 aces, 4 blocks, and 13 digs.
Nice.
And Morgan Olig had an ace, 7 digs, and 54 assists.
Great
A
job.
lot of team effort.
Now we move on to the 7th grade volleyball. They placed second at the 7th grade COA tournament.
Congratulations.
Northview JV football beat Sullivan 32-16, and Northview tennis defeated Terre Haute South.
Yeah, I couldn't get a score on tennis. I just
All
saw
right.
they won. So
That was a big group of randomness there. That I
that's
got
why I
to
said
read.
other sports,
Others.
because I just lumped them all together.
That's okay.
Northview.
The others matter too.
That's right. We move on to varsity football. Northview faced Sullivan Friday night. Northview shut out Sullivan 35-0. Some key stats. Colton Bath had 7 carries for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, had 11 pass completions for 104 yards and a touchdown.
Great job.
Slade Fell, 14 carries for 64 yards.
He
Avery
runs so
Perry-
hard.
He does run hard. He's a hard runner. And then Avery Perry, 3 carries for 50 yards, a touchdown. Big game on reception wise. He had 11 catches, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Good job.
And then Briar McCluskey stepping up big. He had 5 carries for 39 yards.
Good job.
Then on the defensive side, once again, Briar McCluskey led the team
Heck
in
yeah.
tackles. Way to step up, young man, and kick booty.
Great job, Briar.
Jace Deakins had 4 tackles, 2 for a loss. Devin Orman, 3 tackles, 1 for a loss. Carter Kumpf with 3 tackles. Cale Allen with a tackle and a sack. And Porter Jones with a pick.
Good work.
And also, I forgot, Coach Rates did
How'd you
get
forget?
because I'm hungry. I haven't eaten in 24 hours.
You're doing good. I'm proud of
That's
you.
awful. Coach Rates got his 100th victory Friday night beating Sullivan. So he got
Congratulations,
doused
Coach
with
Rates.
water by the big seniors and then got a sweet football.
Heck yeah. Congratulations. Coach.
Congratulations, Coach.
Moving on to Terre Haute North versus Bloomington South, 37-20. South gets the victory. On the offensive side for Terre Haute North, Harrison Wetzel with 6 carries, 32 yards and a touchdown, and 19 completions for 253 yards and a touchdown. Big game.
Congrats.
Zaire White, 24 carries, 101 yards, a touchdown, and 2 receptions for 12 yards. Another big game.
Yup.
Isaiah Minke, 3 receptions for 55 yards and a touchdown. And Samuel Wyhert with 4 receptions for 102 yards. On the defensive side, Jack McDonald, 16 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. Samuel Wyhert, 13 tackles, 2 forced fumbles. That's a pretty big day as well.
They got some studs over there on the
Goodness
defensive side.
gracious. Greg Sanders, 10 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss and a fumble recovery. Quincy Moran with 8 tackles, a tackle for a loss, a sack, and a fumble recovery. And Josiah Bennett with 8 tackles and a tackle for a loss.
All right.
Good job.
Now we have the Putnam Bowl, North Putt versus South Putt. North Putt wins 23-22. That was a
real
heck of
good
a
game.
game. Heck
I
of a
bet that
game.
was so much fun.
I'm sure it was. Christian Kramer. We got some stats for North Putt. Starting with Christian Kramer. 16 carries, 81 yards, 15 pass completions for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wes Murphy, 17 carries, 86 yards, 4 receptions for 38 yards. And Griffin Starr had 6 receptions, 71 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Great job.
Wes Murphy had 9 tackles, 2 for a loss. Caden Hankins, 8 tackles, 1 for a loss. Owen Thurman had 8 tackles. Brody Kincaid had 7 tackles and a fumble recovery. And Kyler Hankins with 7 tackles.
And you can check out podcast with Coach Chuck
Absolutely.
Sorrell.
Absolutely.
Live on all platforms.
There's your refresher right there.
And we move on to South Vermilion versus Park Heritage, 45-6. Wildcats with the victory. Offensive side for South Vermilion, Dom Garzolini with 12 completions, 387 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Heck of a game, young man.
Congrats.
Dallas Coleman with 5 carries, 55 yards, a touchdown, and a reception for 52 yards. Aiden Wallace with 3 receptions for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dylan Hill with 3 receptions, 39 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Alex Shryock with 2 carries, 2 yards, and 2 receptions for 102 yards and a touchdown.
A lot of twos, though.
Yeah, lots of twos. Very tough to read, but I made it through it.
He made it.
Barely, but I did it.
Don't worry, you got the full game.
We got this. Defensive side for South Vermilion, Kyle Higgins, 17 tackles and a tackle for a loss. Dylan Hill, 15 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss and an interception.
Ooh.
Alex Shryock.
You had said it right the first time.
I know. I just stuttered and then I lost it. Shryock.
There we go.
Lost it. 8 tackles. I am so sorry. Colton Chilton, 5 tackles, and Ben Cottrell with 5 tackles. On the offensive side for Park Heritage, Mason Wilcox with 3 completions for 79 yards and a touchdown. Carson Rollison with 16 carries for 51 yards. Keaton Ramey with 2 receptions for 73 yards and a touchdown. On the defensive side, Carson Rollison with 6 tackles, Keaton Ramey with 5, Tucker Conley with 4, and Lucas Rhodes with 4 as well.
All right, now we move to Riverton Park versus Fountain Central. The Panthers win 46-6. Some offensive stats for Riverton Park. Collett Sanders, 2 carries, 17 yards, and a touchdown. He had 1 pass completion for 29 yards. Kyle Price, 13 carries, 121 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Dang, great work.
Victor Shoopman, 3 carries, 13 yards, and a tud. And Derek Collum had 3 carries, 9 yards, and a touchdown.
Great job. You take all the easy ones.
Well,
no, thank you. You moved on to this one. Terre Haute South versus Bloomington North, 41-29. Bloomington North gets the win.
Castle faced West Vigo. The Tiger Cubs win 42-13.
And North Central takes on Irvington Prep, 55-14. The Thunderbirds get the victory.
Coach Wheeler gets his first career head coaching dub.
And another podcast you can check out from last week.
Congratulations, Nick. Linton faced Western, and the Miners win 26-7.
Another podcast with Coach Oliver you can check out from a couple weeks ago. Selfish plugs.
That's right. Cloverdale faced Brown County 42-6. Cloverdale. Congratulations. Ben Davis versus Pike. The Giants win 38-14. Congrats, Coach Spinks and Coach Edwards, on getting the dub this year.
More podcasts you can check out.
You can check out
podcast
on all
we have lots of
streaming
coaches on.
All right. Now we move to middle school football.
All right. The 7th grade took on Owen Valley 20-16 in a tough loss against Owen Valley. On the offensive side, Hunter Hayes with a big run and 2 touchdowns. I believe he had at least 1 called back also.
Yeah, I think it was the game winning touchdowns called back. There were 3 touchdowns called back, I was told.
So way to work, boys.
Just got to keep pushing.
Yep. Unfortunately, that happens. Brockton Stewart with some big runs as well. Reed Barker had some big runs, and Bo Leslie with 2 extra point receptions. On the defensive side, Colton Moore, Hunter Wilson, and Bo Leslie all had tackles for a loss. Great job.
Then the 8th grade faced Owen Valley. The Knights win 26-22. Nail biter right there.
Yeah.
Jamie Zymendorf, 8 carries, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 catch for 10 yards. Briar Killian had 14 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown, had 6 pass completions, 70 yards, and an extra point. Gage Sims had 1 catch for 15 yards. William Woodruff, 3 receptions for 45. Tristan Brown, 10 carries, 60 yards, and a tud.
Great job.
On defense, Benton Hoskins, 6 tackles, 2 for a loss. And Lincoln DeWeese matched him, 6 tackles, 2 for a loss.
Great job.
Gage Sims with 6 tackles, and Zayden Reisinger, 4 tackles, 1 for a loss. Congratulations. Now we have North Clay Cross Country.
All right.
Do I need to zoom?
No.
Okay.
I was just trying to figure out what the top part said.
It's a state preview at Laverne Gibson.
I was just very confused as to what it was. So we have the North Clay boys and girls place 3rd. On the girls' side, Lauren Horn with a 7th place finish, Lainey Hughes with a 13th place finish, and Blakely Hughes with a 24th place finish.
Good job.
On the boys' side, Easton Sinclair finished 9th. And Nathan Beebe finished 17th.
I was waiting to see if you'd screw that one up.
I nailed that one. I was very happy with it. I was very confident that
Double
I could
the
say
E's
that one
makes
correct.
a capital E sound.
I did it right.
Now moving over to soccer, the Lady Knights faced Greencastle, and it was a 1-1 tie. The boys soccer, the Knights faced Greencastle. Tiger Cubs win 4-3, and then the the boys soccer team faced
I'm rubbing
Brown
off
County.
on you.
Yeah, I know. The Knights win 6-1, getting their first
Good
victory of the
job.
year.
Congratulations.
Now we have Strive Baseball.
Strive versus Icon Baseball.
Icon.
9-2. Strive get the victory. And then Strive also took on the Indiana Trash Pandas, which is a hilarious name. And I would give you the score, but I don't know because he scrolled down.
Oh,
It is 19-11. Strive gets the victory again. On the batting side, Cole Dillard had a hit, an RBI, and 2 stolen bases. Ethan Oklovich with 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Luke Hull with 3 hits, 5 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. Mac Miller with 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. Cooper Shepard with a hit, 3 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. Nolan Ritchie with a hit, a double, and 3 stolen bases. And Brock Phillips with 2 hits, an RBI, a double, and a stolen base.
Congratulations. Good job, boys. Now we move over to Riley Rec League. Shout out to Tony Harden for giving us the score.
Thank you, sir.
It was Harden versus Adamson. Harden wins 15-2. Batting stats for Harden. Max Harden had 3 hits, a triple, and a double.
Good job.
Rhett Blair had 2 hits and a double.
Nice.
Maddox Givens, 2 hits and a double. Kendrick Minke had a hit and a home run. Holden Birchfield had a hit, and Bennett Faulkner with a hit.
Great job.
On the mound, Maddox Givens and Max Harden, 2 strikeouts each, and Rhett Blair with a strikeout.
Great work.
Now we have CYFL.
Now we
Junior
move
League.
on to the CYFL Juniors. The Maroon Knights take on Owen Valley, 20-0. Knights get the victory.
That was from last week. I forgot to scroll all the way over.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we don't need to read that.
No,
one?
we'll read it.
Oh, okay.
We didn't get to read
We
it.
just
last
didn't get
week.
to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So this was last week's game. Jackson Pestoff with 9 carries for 148 yards,
Wow.
2 touchdowns, an extra point, and a reception for 25 yards. What a game. Lincoln Powell, 4 carries for 8 yards.
And
What does that mean?
not sure.
All right.
Moving on.
And he had something else.
I think it's an extra point.
he had a special play.
He had
I
an
think.
extra point. Extra point. Let's see if Fat fingered it.
Easton Herbert with 2 carries for 3 yards and a touchdown and an extra point reception. And Buster Ray with 25 pass yards and an extra point. On the defensive side, Max Osborne, 7 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, a sack, and 2 forced fumbles.
Good
Big
job.
game, buddy. Easton Herbert with 6 tackles. Big game as well.
Yup.
Jackson Pestoff, not to be outdone, 6 tackles as well. Jaden Stockwell with 3 tackles, and Landon Pestoff with 2 tackles and a forced fumble. Big days. The defensive line owned the line of scrimmage throughout the contest. Shout out to Max Osborne, Easton Herbert, and Grayson Goshen, and Buster Ray. Good job, boys up front.
All right. Now this week, the Maroon Knights faced the Terre Haute Bears. The Knights won 27-0.
Good job.
Lincoln Powell.
There you go.
I can't read.
You were close.
Yeah. I can't do this fasting stuff.
Lincoln, Landon, Jackson.
Yeah. Lincoln
You got
Powell,
this.
6 carries, 64 yards, a touchdown, and 2 extra points. Jackson Pestoff,
Nailed it.
3 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
See, it's easy to do. Then you get in your head.
Yep. Buster Ray, 2 carries, 105 yards with a touchdown and an extra point pass. Easton Herbert, 5 carries, 54 yards, a touchdown, and an extra point catch.
Good job.
The offensive line of Charles Johnson, Max Osborne, Owen Burke, Jamison Arizmendi, and Grayson Goshen had their best performance of the season, controlling the line of scrimmage and clearing the way for the backs.
Great work again, boys up front.
On the defense, Jackson Pestoff led the way, 7 tackles. Max Osborne with 5. Lincoln Powell, Nolan Moore, and Jaden Stockwell with 3 each. Defensive destruction with their second shutout in a row.
Great job, Maroon.
Now we have the Silver Knights versus Sullivan.
Silver Knights versus Sullivan, and a close one, 14-12. Knights get the victory. Landon Zabo with 11 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a completion for 11 yards.
Good job.
Lucas Harrison with 9 carries for 35 yards. Earl Donald with 7 carries, 27 yards, and 2 extra point conversions. Grayson Forker with 3 carries for 34 yards, and Gabe Rogers with 1 reception for 11 yards. On the defensive side, Earl Donald leads the way with 5 tackles and a sack. Lucas Harrison with 4 tackles and a tackle for a loss. Grayson Forker with 3 tackles, a tackle for a loss, a sack, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery.
He almost got the whole cycle.
Yeah, he did. He almost did everything you can
He
do
just
on
needed a
defense
pick.
in one game.
Yeah.
All right, next one. You have to do all of those things and get a pick.
Yep.
And then you complete the defensive cycle.
But yeah.
Look at that. Cameron McCoy, we're just making up things now.
Yes, we are.
3 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and Lincoln Trott with 2 tackles. Great work.
Good job. And we finally got the stats from Coach Keith from last week with the Black Knights versus Silver Knights.
Thanks.
The Silver did win 21-18. Some offense for the Black Knights. Dalton DeWitt, 7 carries, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Casey Keith, 6 carries, 102 yards and a touchdown. Bryson Silvers, 2 carries for 10 yards. On defense, Dalton DeWitt, 11 tackles, 2 for a loss. Kyler Keith, 4 tackles. Dawson Mason and Bryson Silvers, 3 tackles.
I love when you just straight up call the coaches out.
Yeah.
Then the Black Knights take on the White Knights.
This is from this week.
There we go. 18-6. White get the victory. On the offensive side for the Black Knights, Dalton DeWitt with 5 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown, and Casey Keith with 5 carries for 50 yards. And on the defensive side for the Dalton DeWitt with 12 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, a fumble recovery because he forced the fumble.
That's right. He almost got a cycle too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Just got to add a pick and you got this.
That's right.
Kyler Keith with 5 tackles and the interception that Dalton needed.
Yep.
So combined, they got it. Bryson Silvers with 5 tackles and Casey Keith with 4. Then on the offensive side for White, Liam Fabre with 7 carries for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Good job.
Xavier Gerchik with 6 carries for 55 yards. Mason Miller with 5 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown. And on the defensive side, Liam Fabre leading the way with 7 tackles.
Ooh.
Ashton Ferry with 4 tackles. Luke Leslie with 2 tackles. Marius Gint, sorry, messed it up. 2 tackles and a fumble recovery. And Harry Campbell with a fumble recovery. Great job. The White Knights are getting better. I cannot read any further. Fundamentally, each week, and look to be playing their best football in a couple weeks, entering the playoffs. Good job, boys.
All right, scrolling over to make sure it
I
is.
switch my contacts. I can't see.
Or just keep them in.
It's blurry.
Well, I've been keeping them in all year.
Yeah. How you do it?
Now we have Senior League. This is from last week. Apologies, Coach Howard, for forgetting.
But thank you for sending
But
it.
thank you. The White Knights, they beat West Vigo in a nail biter, 14-15. Javon Robinson had 4 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. Gavin Hendricks, 6 carries, 21 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Ben Ader had 1 carry for 5. Cree Staley, 9 carries, 20 yards, and a 2-point conversion. And then on defense, Norton Nelson led the way. Big Norton, 5 tackles.
Good job.
Jamison Pierce had 4 tackles. Iverson Vaughn, 4 tackles and a pick. Javon Robinson, Grayson Townsend, and Gavin Bowling, 3 tackles
Great
each.
game. Then the White Knights take on the Junior Patriots. 14-0. Knights get the victory. On the offensive side, Javon Robinson, 4 carries for 49 yards and a touchdown. Gavin Hendricks with 7 carries, 44 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Cree Staley with 7 carries for 33 yards. Ben Ader with 4 carries for 33 yards. And Rylan Hollowell with a carry for 3 yards. And on the defensive side, Cree Staley, Javon Robinson, and Iverson Vaughn all with 4 tackles apiece. Ben Ader and Jamison Pierce both had 3 tackles apiece as well.
All right. Then the Maroon Knights faced Owen Valley. The Knights win 44-12. Big day for this young man. Colt Sims, 6 carries, 265 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pass completion for 60 yards.
Great game, Colt.
Max Rates had 7 carries, 45 yards, a touchdown, 1 catch for 15.
Great job.
Ryder Neville, 4 carries, 40 yards, 1 pass completion for 15.
Great job.
Eli Marlowe, 3 carries, 80 yards, 1 catch for 60 yards.
Great job.
And Colton James added 4 extra points.
Great. He was kicking the crap out of the ball.
Was he?
He boots that thing.
Well, there we go.
It's pretty amazing.
There we go. On defense, Colt Sims and Colton Jones, 6 tackles each.
Colton James.
The Boogeyman. What?
Colton James.
Colton James. Apologies.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of Coltons on that team.
Great job, boys.
And then Cruz Shepard, the Boogeyman, 6 tackles, 2 for a loss. Jacob Greenwell had 5 tackles, and Max Rates, 2 tackles and a sack.
Great work.
Now we move over to Greencastle.
Greencastle, the Tiger Cubs versus Cloverdale, 36-0. Tiger Cubs get the victory. On the offensive side, Aiden Dayhove with 65 yards, a touchdown, and 25 pass yards. Mason Goodpaster with 5 yards and a 2-point conversion. Hunter Monroe with 15 rush yards, a touchdown, and 20 reception yards. Tucker Hatfield with 25 rush yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Langston Humphrey had 30 rush yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. On the defensive side, Mason Goodpaster with 2 tackles for a loss, a sack, and a fumble recovery. Aiden Dayhuff with 3 tackles for a loss, an interception, and a touchdown.
Ooh.
Easton Neely with 5 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. Hunter Monroe with 2 tackles and 2 tackles for a loss. Joseph Ostman with 4 tackles, and Gabe Whitman with 4 tackles and 3 sacks.
Ooh.
Great job.
And then I think this was Saturday. We had this Tiger Cub Civil War. The two major teams faced off, Dayhuff versus Day.
Oh,
Team Dayhuff won 36-0. On the offensive side, Tucker Hatfield, 36 yards and a touchdown. Aiden Dayhuff, 45 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Hunter Monroe, 30 rush yards, a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and 25 return yards. Langston Humphrey had 30 yards and a touchdown. Mason Goodpaster, 26 yards and a 2-point conversion. Justin Gurrell, 30 yards and a touchdown. Then on defense, Hunter Monroe, 8 tackles. Mason Goodpaster, 8 tackles and 2 for a loss. Easton Neely, 9 tackles and a sack. Travarius Fortner, 10 tackles and a sack. Gabe Whitman had 10 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery. And Joseph Osman had 9 tackles and a sack.
great job.
And now we have the Terre Haute Boys and Girls Club junior team.
The Bengals take on South Vermilion, 12-6. Bengals get the victory. Lee Garrett with 5 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. Ray McCarthy with 8 carries, 55 yards and a touchdown. DJ Baker with 4 carries for 45 yards. On the defensive side, Chris Hayes with 2 sacks and a fumble recovery. Judah Fisher with 2 tackles for a loss and a sack. And Joey Lalou with 2 tackles for a loss and 2 sacks.
All right. Then the Bengals face the Junior Braves. The Bengals win 19-12. Ray McCarthy, 10 carries, 60 yards, and a touchdown. DJ Baker, 6 carries, 35 yards, a pass completion, 35 yards, and a touchdown. TJ Nicholson, 7 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Joey Lalou, 2 tackles, 2 for a loss and a sack. Chris Hayes had a sack and a fumble recovery. Judah Fisher, 2 tackles, 2 for a loss. Now we move on to the Pee Wee League for the Terre Haute Boys and Girls Club.
The Titans versus the Sycamores, 19-12. Sycamores get the victory. On the offensive side, Carter Cooper with 12 carries, 135 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Makari Cherry with 8 carries for 60 yards, and Grayson Figueroa with 4 carries for 20 yards.
Good job.
Thank you. I'm getting better at reading.
I was waiting for you to
On the
butcher that one.
defensive side, Oliver Ellington, 3 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. Great game.
Good job.
Look at that. I'm getting better.
Oh, yeah.
It's like practice reading every week.
Practice reading. Hooked on phonics. Here we go. Now we have Clay Youth Soccer Club. The U13 Comets face Danville. Danville won 5-3. It was a dogfight, though. They were tied 3-3 at halftime. AJ Tipton had a hat trick. He had all 3 goals.
Oh, heck yeah. Good job, buddy.
And then Liam Aker had a fantastic penalty kick save.
Good work.
Then, do you want to do it?
Sure.
All right.
The U13 Comets take on the Ben Davis Extreme. 1-0 Extreme get the victory. AJ Tipton as a wallet goalie, making 8 saves. Defensive played stellar all game. Extreme scored within 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the game. Even in the face of tough losses, the Comets continue to show remarkable improvement and resilience. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Keep up the great work, Comets. Good job.
Right.
I about knocked the thing off. So I do want to say I don't think the Silver and Black Knights had a report, but I was at that game, so I can kind of talk to it. Very good. It was back and forth. They were hitting very hard. Caden Longo definitely stood out, had, I believe, both of our touchdowns.
Okay.
Had a couple big hits. So
do you know the score?
14-12.
Oh,
Black Knights got the victory.
Dogfight.
Yeah, very, very good game.
Okay.
Back and forth battle, and had a couple defensive. I think Black Knights had a defensive stand right at the end and shut them down. But
wow.
Very, very good game on both sides.
Good job, both teams.
Yep.
Coaches.
Does make it a little easier, but
same thing.
I will go off of memory.
Same thing for the Pee Wee coaches. Got to send us your stuff.
It does help.
It does help.
It's okay. We got
so
it.
Parents, if you didn't hear your team called, talk to your coaches. It's not my fault.
And we just had a question about the Pee Wee. Same thing there. We did not receive anything from the Pee Wee this week. So,
we
unfortunately, we cannot be everywhere.
Nope.
So we have to rely on
the
information we get. Apologies. But now
it's time for the Red Velvet Power Performance. This week's, which one we doing? Prep?
Nope.
Oh, we're going youth. This week's youth power performers: Luke Hull, Max Harden, Jackson Pestoff, Landon Zabo, Max Osborne, Colt Sims, Cruz Shepard, Hunter Monroe, Aiden Dayhuff, DJ Baker, Joey Lalou, Carter Cooper, and Oliver Ellington. Sorry, I was used to like sprinting.
Hey, you can slow down.
And this week's prep power performers: Kara Lucas, Lauren Horn, Dom Garzolini, Dylan Hill, Harrison Wetzel, Lincoln DeWeese, Benton Hoskins, Briar Killian, and Jack McDonald. Congratulations. Keep fighting. Keep pushing.
And you didn't have to read it at like speed racer.
No, I didn't sound like an
that's
auctioneer
good.
this time. That always helps.
All right, let me read all the kids very fast.
Hey, we're gonna read it as fast as we can. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do a great
we
job.
got
Good job. Okay.
I was working very hard today. I got lots of things done, so we
It's good,
extended
'cause
it a little bit, and
I am tired.
you nailed it.
This whole fasting thing. It's
Well, now you get to go eat.
I know.
Where are you going to go?
Like somewhere with a greasy cheeseburger.
No, you're
That's
supposed
where I want to go.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna go eat
Make
chicken and
good
broccoli or
choices.
something.
There you go.
But
The freeze has really good salads.
yeah, well, I don't want to salad. That'll just anger me.
You get 2 breadsticks with it.
Yeah, but I need protein.
You get chicken in there too.
I need lots of chicken
You could probably get extra.
or
chicken.
baconator. One of the two.
Yeah, either way.
Anyway,
Choices will be made.
choices will be made, good or bad. They'll be made. But thank you for tuning into this week's Youth Chowdown. If you want your club program team added, hit us up and we'll get it on there. So thank you, and we're out of here.
Bye.